Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is squeezing a bottle of Heinz ketchup. In fact, it happens 650 million times a year. But nobody knows the insane story of what's actually inside that bottle. This ketchup started its life as a tomato. But not just any tomato, a very specific breed, grown in only a handful of places on Earth, engineered over decades to produce the exact flavor Heinz demands. From a tomato seed to your refrigerator door, Heinz has perfected every single step of this process over 150 years. And what happens inside that factory will absolutely shock you. This is one of Heinz's mega factories, a facility that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, producing millions of bottles every single month. Enough ketchup to fill an Olympic swimming pool every 4 hours. But here's the thing nobody talks about. Heinz ketchup isn't just tomatoes and sugar. There are exactly 7 ingredients, and the ratio between them is one of the most protected secrets in the food industry. Today, we're going inside. Every single step, every machine, every secret. Let's go. It all starts here, the fields. Heinz doesn't just buy random tomatoes. They work with hundreds of contract farmers, most of them in California's Central Valley, under strict growing agreements. Heinz uses a very specific variety of tomato, bred specifically for ketchup production. They are smaller and denser than eating tomatoes, with thicker walls and much higher solids content, meaning more flavor per tomato. Heinz agronomists test the soil, monitor rainfall, and even control the irrigation schedule on contract farms. Every variable is managed because the tomato's quality determines the ketchup's quality. When the tomatoes hit peak ripeness, which lasts only a few weeks, the harvest begins. These enormous machines can harvest an entire acre in under 10 minutes, picking tens of thousands of tomatoes per minute. Inside the harvester, shakers separate tomatoes from their vines while electronic sorters remove any green or damaged fruit, all at incredible speed. In the field, the moment they're picked, the harvested tomatoes are loaded directly into trucks and rushed to the factory. Speed matters. Once picked, tomatoes begin to degrade. Heinz processes harvested tomatoes within 24 hours of picking. When the trucks arrive, they dump their entire load into a water flume, a channel of flowing water that carries the tomatoes gently into the factory while beginning the cleaning process. The flume does more than transport. The flowing water removes dirt, pesticides, and debris, and because damaged or rotten tomatoes float differently, they can be identified and removed before processing begins. Before entering the processing line, every single tomato passes through a multi-stage wash system using high-pressure water jets and rotating brushes, removing any remaining soil, debris, or surface contamination. Every tomato is now scanned by high-resolution cameras and laser sensors. This machine can detect color, size, and surface defects, rejecting any tomato that doesn't meet Heinz's exact specification. Green tomatoes, bruised tomatoes, tomatoes with blemishes, all rejected. Because when you're making 650 million bottles, one bad tomato in the wrong batch can change the flavor of thousands of jars. Only the perfect ones make it through. A deep, uniform red color, indicating maximum lycopene and natural sugar content. Exactly what's needed to produce that iconic Heinz flavor. The accepted tomatoes enter the crusher, a machine that breaks them down into a rough pulp in seconds. Skins, seeds, and liquid all mixed together. This is the raw material everything else is built from. The pulp then enters the finisher, a machine with rotating paddles and fine screens that separate the usable tomato pulp from the seeds and skins. The seeds and skins are removed. The pure tomato paste moves forward. The thin tomato juice now enters a massive evaporator, a series of heated chambers that remove water from the tomato under vacuum. This concentrates the tomato solids by a factor of 4, creating a thick, intensely flavored tomato paste. The result is a deep crimson tomato paste, nearly 4 times more concentrated than the original tomato juice. This is the foundation of Heinz ketchup. Everything from here is about building on this base. Now we arrive at the most guarded secret in the condiment world. The exact Heinz ketchup recipe, the precise ratios of every ingredient, has remained essentially unchanged since Henry J. Heinz perfected it in the 1870s. Heinz ketchup contains exactly 7 ingredients. Tomatoes, distilled vinegar, high fructose corn syrup or sugar, salt, onion powder, and here's where it gets interesting, natural flavors and spice. Those last two, undisclosed. The distilled vinegar is critical. It's not just for flavor. It's a natural preservative, a pH controller, and the reason Heinz Ketchup has a shelf life of up to 2 years without artificial preservatives. Sugar is added in computer-controlled amounts. Too much, and the ketchup becomes sweet and flat. Too little, and the acidity of the tomatoes becomes overwhelming. The balance is everything. The undisclosed spice blend, the real secret of Heinz, is added last, in amounts so precise they're measured in grams per 1,000 liters. This is what separates Heinz from every imitation ketchup ever made. With all 7 ingredients combined, the ketchup is cooked in enormous jacketed vats at precisely controlled temperatures. The cooking process develops the flavor, kills any bacteria, and achieves the right viscosity. The temperature, the cooking time, the agitation speed, every parameter is controlled by computer. Because the Maillard reaction happening inside that vat is what creates the deep, complex flavor that makes Heinz taste like Heinz. During cooking, technicians constantly test the viscosity, the thickness of the building toward the rotary filling machine. Each nozzle fills a bottle with an exact measured dose of Heinz ketchup, weight checked to within fractions of a gram. The filling nozzles operate under slight positive pressure, pushing the thick ketchup downward while simultaneously venting air from the bottle. It's a delicate balance, because ketchup's viscosity makes it genuinely difficult to fill at speed. Every single filled bottle passes over an inline checkweigher, a precision scale that confirms the exact fill weight. Any bottle that's even slightly under or over the correct weight is automatically rejected. Red caps are placed on each bottle and tightened by automated capping heads that apply a precisely calibrated torque, enough to create a hermetic seal, but not so much that the consumer can't open it. For extra tamper evidence and freshness, an induction sealing machine passes an electromagnetic field over each cap, bonding a foil inner seal to the bottle opening without any physical contact. Now the bottles receive their identity. Label application machines wrap the iconic Heinz label around each bottle with precision, the same red, white, and green design that Henry Heinz first created over 130 years ago. After labeling, cameras verify every single label, checking position accuracy, print quality, and barcode readability. A label applied, even slightly crooked, would be caught and the bottle removed. A laser or high-resolution inkjet printer applies the production code and best before date to every bottle, recording the exact line, factory, batch number, and date for complete traceability. Meanwhile, in the on-site quality laboratory, technicians pull bottles from every production run, testing flavor, color, viscosity, pH, Brix level, and microbiological safety. Color is a critical quality parameter. Heinz uses a spectrophotometer to measure the exact color of every batch, ensuring every bottle of Heinz ketchup is exactly the same distinctive deep ketchup. Heinz uses the Bostwick consistometer, a specific instrument that measures exactly how far ketchup flows in 30 seconds. The pH level is also continuously monitored. Heinz ketchup must maintain a pH between 3.5 and 3.9. This precise acidity level is what gives Heinz its signature tangy balance, and is the key to its remarkable shelf stability. After cooking, the ketchup passes through a heat exchanger, a final ultra-high temperature treatment that sterilizes the product completely before it reaches the filling machines. While the ketchup is being made, the bottles are being born. It starts with these tiny PET plastic pellets, each one no bigger than a grain of rice, arriving in bulk tankers from petrochemical plants. The pellets are melted and injected into molds, creating small test tube-shaped objects called preforms. These look nothing like a ketchup bottle yet, but they contain exactly enough plastic to form one perfectly. Each preform is reheated until it becomes soft, then placed inside a bottle-shaped mold and inflated with high-pressure air, blowing it into the exact shape of a Heinz bottle in under 2 seconds. The finished bottles emerge clear and perfectly formed, each one identical. They'll receive their iconic red label later. For now, they move through the factory toward inspection and filling. Heinz also produces the iconic glass bottle, still manufactured at scale for markets where consumers specifically prefer it. The glass bottle molds have remained essentially the same distinctive shape since 1890. Every empty bottle, plastic and glass, passes through an automated optical inspection system. Cameras check wall thickness, shape accuracy, and any defects. Any imperfect bottle is rejected before a single drop of ketchup enters it. Approved bottles are inverted and blasted with sterile filtered air, removing any dust or particles from the manufacturing process before the ketchup enters. Now, the moment everything has been